Welcome to CareerForce and More for Employers. This is session 4. This series are informational webinars designed to help you apply CareerForce resources to recruiting and retention. We go over the who, what, why, where, and how of our CareerForce and Department of Employment and Economic Development system. We've talked in the past about using MinnesotaWorks.net effectively, which is our National Labor Exchange system. We discuss more deeply how to collaborate with Deed Employer Services, and for example, the topic today. And then we even highlight some of the other resources and information pages on our CareerForceMN.com site. All of our previous sessions have been recorded and posted on YouTube on the CareerForce MN page. There is a link to them on the CareerForce and More for Employers subpage within our website. So I can get you that information if you need it. I'm Liz Jennings, Employer Engagement Specialist. I'm available to talk with you one-on-one about questions you might have. I stay in touch with all of my coworkers across the state. And periodically, I host industry-focused webinars, so please reach out if you have questions. And I'll put my email in the chat in just a minute. Today is May 25th, 2023, session 4. We're going to be talking about veterans employment support. I dearly love working with all of my colleagues in Veterans Employment Services. They are fantastic resources to you, the employers, and fantastic resources to all of our veteran job seekers. So I am now going to transfer the baton to Shannon Sprouse. And I'm going to stop. Yeah, here we go. Go ahead and share your screen.
All right, my turn. Let's see. Let's start with content. Here we go.
Oh. We see it now. Shannon, I can see your slides.
Yeah, but my speaking window disappeared. So give me just a second. I'm going to stop sharing and start again.
Okay.
We'll do it this way. There. All right, I think we're good now, right, Liz?
Yep.
All right, fantastic. Well, everybody, hello. Thank you for joining today. As Liz mentioned, my name is Shannon Sprouse, and I'm a Veterans Employment Representative with the state of Minnesota. I connect job-seeking veterans to local opportunities with military-friendly companies, and I serve as a veteran recruitment resource for recruiters and hiring managers. Now, throughout my time in this position, one of the challenges I see every day is the difficulty many veterans have they face translating their military experience into applicable skills and abilities that are sought out by employers. As a result, I encounter a large number of vets that are passed over at the initial resume screening, despite their clear insistence that they meet the qualifications. Now, our program, we work specifically with these veterans to deal with this exact issue, to show them how to target their resume and to match their skills appropriately. But that's a limited population that we actually get to serve. So that leaves a lot of veterans out there that aren't getting any assistance. Now, the purpose of this session of the CareerForce and More for Employers series is to talk about 2 specific ways your company can consider military experience when service members apply for your positions. So first, is military experience relevant? Well, many recruiters and hiring managers often wonder how relevant military experience and training actually is for their company's positions. So something to keep in mind, for someone to successfully serve and then leave the military with an honorable discharge, they very likely demonstrated all of the characteristics you're looking for, soft skills as well as hard skills. Now, military experience generally instills practical knowledge gained through real-world situations. And these service members are exposed to many different people, cultures, walks of life, and beliefs as they serve with people from not just around the country, but all over the world. Additionally, attention to detail, adaptability, able to problem solve, responsibility, organization, self-discipline, and dependability. I know I listed off a lot of traits and qualities there, but those are just a few of the soft skills that service members can bring to employers. Military training and education is robust, thorough, and accredited. You may or may not know this, but training received in the military is accepted at almost all American colleges and universities and can satisfy not just general credits, but they can also satisfy specific degree course requirements as well. So this training provides high proficiency in a number of general tangible skills, but the occupational specific training prepares service members to effectively do their job as soon as they arrive at their first duty assignment. This specialized training can range from as little as 4 weeks to more than a year. Now you can see from that word cloud on the right side of the slide, there's a number of different job titles. This is definitely not all inclusive. The Army alone has, I think, they have over 200 different specific job titles just in that organization. Now, these are all positions that you see in this word cloud, for example. These are all positions that exist in the military and are directly transferable to civilian employment without additional training, education, or certification. For example, you have on there a doctor. Yeah, we have plenty of doctors, but they have to go through all of the same education and training as their civilian counterpart would have to. So for them leaving service and then moving into the civilian sector, they don't have to get additional training, just the ability to practice in that state. So to answer the question, is military experience relevant? I'd have to emphatically say yes, absolutely. If schools like Harvard and Yale will count military experience and training towards college credit and satisfying specific courses, then employers should feel confident knowing that veterans have the abilities and skills that they need. So how can recruiters and hiring managers be more accommodating towards military training and experience? Well, first, try to be more forgiving when reviewing resumes and maybe understand the challenges our service members face. Something to think about. Service members typically don't have to do a lot of like written report type work. So like grant writing, things like that. Not a common thing. But what we do a lot of is panel interviews. Anytime that we want to get promoted once we get to a certain point, we actually have to sit in front of a panel, just like an interview, answer questions and show our competency. So military members are pretty well versed in that method of communication. So if there's an ability to maybe just be, like I said, more forgiving when reviewing the resumes, you might be able to understand the challenges, or might be able to understand the experience a little bit better. You know, you could also take the time to look up some of the military jargon or the acronyms. Yeah, we try to teach them not to use that, but they still permeate resumes. I'm sure you've all seen it. Try to overlook simple formatting issues. Again, military members aren't typically used to even messing with resumes. They haven't done it their entire career. Another thing is maybe reconsider some of the experience requirements. Not everything is actually required. And it's just kind of common for employers or whoever is creating the position descriptions and whatnot to list requirements that are generic for all positions, but they don't always have to be. We can take some of those requirements out to make a larger pool of people qualified for the position. Now, if a company has a veteran recruitment strategy, if you're specifically trying to recruit veterans, then it's pretty important that being competent with military structure is achieved within that organization. Now, this can be done through online courses, meeting with nonprofits and service providers like the VA or Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs. But you can also utilize state resources too. There are a number of subject matter experts that recruiting staff can lean on to assist. Veterans employment reps, just like me, as well as the rest of my team, we are always happy to help evaluate veteran resumes and just be a good resource for you. But beyond that, military connected employees can be an invaluable resource. Now, military connected, that just simply refers to anybody that has served, is currently serving, was married or currently married to a service member, or they're a family member, a Gold Star family member. Now, these employees not only will help you better understand military culture, but they can also assist with creating job postings, flyers, and other recruitment content to target job-seeking veterans. You could give the candidate the opportunity to explain how their experience relates as well. You look at a resume, it might not quite look right, but you understand that it's a veteran. Maybe you have a quick screening call with them just to find out about that experience and make sure that it relates appropriately. Now, beyond those options, we've created a military career lookup tool on the CareerForce website. This is a great tool. What you see there is a little screenshot of what the tool looks like when you're on the page, but it's super easy to get to. Go to careerforcemn.com/veterans. Now, when you're there, you're going to see the page is kind of broken up into two sections. You have resources for veterans, the job seekers at the top, and then below that is resources for employers. You click on the resources for employers. It's not a long page. There's not a lot of content in there. There's a few links, as well as about halfway down this tool. On a side note, just above this tool, a couple of spots above this tool, there's a link for our team directory. To get any help from our program, go to that team directory, find the Veterans Employment Rep that covers the county that your company falls in, and then reach out to us, and we're happy to help. That's just one of the resources on there. I'm going to show you at one point how that looks, but we're going to continue moving on from here. All right, so here's the tool, right? You go in there, you put in the branch of service, or you can leave the branch blank, plug in the job title, and then boom, you're going to get some great information. So this was created to help you learn how military experience and training can actually compare to the qualifications required for your positions. So go to the website, put in that information. Now in this case, I put in Army and I put in recruiter. I did that for too many years in the Army, so I'm kind of versed in this part. So then you click on Find Career. Then that information to the right side of that box pops up. It says Recruiter, Army. This is the code. And then the rest of it is kind of, doesn't really say much, but what you're looking for is that blue Learn More link. Excuse me. So clicking on that link is going to provide some detailed information to include a summary of the job, some helpful attributes, a breakdown of the duties and tasks, the specific training received, and a very short blurb about what that work environment is like. Now, the tool isn't perfect, and a number of jobs won't show up. When this happens, you'll see an advanced search option, which when you click on that, you can do some more filtering and refined searching, and you can get to job family categories and get some of the same information. So this gives you a much better understanding of the duties, tasks, and relevant training that these military members received and how it can relate to your civilian employment. So when you look at this piece that's behind the lookup tool, that's just a screenshot of the website. So these are just drop-down menus. You see what they do, training provided, work environment. Click on the plus sign and you get the information. We're going to go through a demonstration of this. I just have to change my screen. And hopefully it goes off without a hitch. All right, CareerForceMN.com. Let's just say you go here. You forget to type in /veterans. That's okay if you do, because you can find veteran resources right here in the middle of the page. Click on Veterans Resources. Oh, this is not the one we want. All right, this one just goes by default to a different page. That's the job seeker page. All right, so employers page. Here's what I'm talking about. Some basic resources, benefits of hiring veterans, the employer guide to the hire vets. That's actually pretty good. Information on incentive tax credits for hiring veterans. Here's the directory I was telling you about. And then here's the tool. All right, so let's put in machinist. I'm not going to be specific about the branch of service. So machinist. Let's say that you got somebody that applied for a machinist position, says that they spent 10 years in the military as a machinist. You click on Find Career. It's going to show you every option that machinist falls under. Now you've got, in this case, 4 pages of machinist types of positions. Let's just pick the first one. So a machinist in the Marine Corps. Let's learn about it. Learn more. All right. So here you're getting that summary of the position, what they do. Helpful attributes for machinists. The what they do section is really kind of like a breakdown of the tasks and duties. And I would guess that any machinist that you're hiring to do these exact same things. So here's the great thing about it. Training is standardized throughout the military. All right, I see that, Jenny. Well, I will try to find the updated link for that and have it fixed in the next couple of weeks. I apologize for that. All right, back to this. Breakdown of the duties. The training is pretty much standardized. So somebody in the Marine Corps that's getting training as a machinist in one location is going to get, at one time is going to get that same training 6 months later, or the next person 6 months later is going to get that same training. So it's pretty standardized. So people are able to move into their positions without any hiccups at all. All right, breakdown of their job duties, the training provided. As you can see here, machinists in the military, they are trained on CNC equipment and CAD. Pretty sure any of you that are hiring machinists would be happy to have that qualification. All right, so this is just an example of what that looks like. Now, let's say you don't have the a result. You click on the advanced search. You can use some of these filters here, but then you've got skill or job families all the way through that you can click on and get that same information. All right, great. All right, now we're going to go back to the presentation. Just a second. Okay. Now let's move on. The second thing I wanted to talk about is the DoD Skill Bridge program. DoD stands for Department of Defense. So this is military-wide. It's not just one branch of service versus another. This is all military-wide. So the DoD Skill Bridge program is an opportunity for service members to gain valuable civilian work experience through specific industry training, apprenticeships, internships, whatever. It's all in their last 6 months of service. Now, during this program, they continue to be paid by the military and retain all their benefits, while employers kind of get to borrow a service member. The purpose is to bridge the gap between military service and civilian employment by connecting service members with industry partners in real-world job experiences. Employers benefit from this program by having early access to highly trained and motivated service members transitioning into the workforce. They're able to create a program that meets their specific workforce needs. And it also gives the employers the ability to evaluate the service member's suitability for the work. So even though this program kind of expects partners to have a high probability of post-service employment, participants are not entitled or guaranteed to a job at the conclusion of the program just because they participated. So you don't have to worry about that. And to top it all off, there's no cost to the employer and there's no catch for participating. Basically, the Department of Defense just wants the best possible outcomes for our service members as they transition out of active service. Now, you may or may not know this, but our biggest challenge with veterans in Minnesota isn't unemployment. It's actually underemployment. And this program helps our service members find careers with good pay, benefits, and opportunities for advancement, just like they had in the military. Something to think about here. You look at this slide, all of the companies are in blue. Those are all of the companies in Minnesota that participate in this program. There is so much room for so many more of you to be industry partners for this. And again, it's free and you get a free worker for 6 months. You pay nothing. You have no out-of-pocket expense. And it's like an internship. And the great thing about it is you get the opportunity to have this person for 6 months that hopefully can lead into a full-time job offer once that period is over. So applying to become a SkillBridge industry partner is pretty simple. You just go to the website. That was on the previous screen. There it is, skillbridge.osd.mil. Seriously, if you just Google DoD SkillBridge program, you're going to find the website. It's not going to be hard. All right, so this is kind of what the application page looks like. On the left side, that's it. That's all you fill out, and then you hit submit at the bottom of that. So you just find that in industry partners and employers section, and click on the how to participate section. So it would definitely be helpful for you to become familiar with all aspects of the program, read through all of the information, understand how it benefits the service member, and then also go and check out the FAQ. I've got a screenshot of the FAQ showing right there, but then you'd also want to attend an information session. The next one isn't until July, but you can go to that website there, skillbridge.osd.mil/webinar, and you can view a previously recorded session. It's about an hour long. You can also visit the Get Started Toolkit section. There's a lot of great information in there for you. Now, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. I also encourage you to reach out to your veterans employment reps. Like I mentioned, go to careerforcemn.com/veterans, go to the resources for employers section and look for our directory. We are very eager to connect with you and to be a resource for your veteran recruitment strategy. Now, these are just 2 ways that I talked about that you can just increase your ability to understand military experience and see how it relates to your positions, the needs for your positions. If nothing else, you see a veteran that applied and you have an intent to do more within the veteran community, just pick up the phone and call them and ask them, hey, can you just clarify this experience for me? Oftentimes you're going to see that the experience is a great match. They just did not do a great job in communicating that, because they learned how to say it and explain it and understand it in a whole different environment, in a whole different world. I mean, think about you moving from one state to another, or somebody moving from one country to another. People that served in the military and active duty are having to, once they leave, then just kind of get rid of all of that knowledge and stuff that they've had in their head for however many years and kind of retrain themselves as a civilian. So just consider that and be mindful of those things. Now, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. If nothing else, you can reach out to me at any time. But again, strongly encourage you to reach out to our team. Get connected to your vet rep so we can be your resource. And we're free. We are a no-cost recruitment multiplier for you. Thank you.
Shannon, there was one question in the chat. We do not have any internship programs and would pay the veteran. Would that be an issue? Not quite sure I understand.
Yeah, so this isn't really an internship program. You go through this and you're identifying positions where you will take somebody in to slide right into that. Now, this is also a training thing, so there is an expectation that you will provide training for the individual. But I guess to answer your question, no, you'll not be able to bring somebody while they're serving and pay them to work there. I mean, they have to go through the program. You have to be an industry partner. Otherwise, there's no way that the military will let somebody just leave for 6 months unless they're in this program.
Sure. We have a state of Minnesota agency recruiter on the call, and they say, they ask, they understand that the Connect 700 allows applicants to skip the traditional interview process and use those 700 hours to prove that they can do the job. Have many DevOps encouraged vets to use that Connect 700 program when applying to state of Minnesota? Is that an option?
Yeah, I mean, it can certainly be an option. The issue is that I mean, they have Connect 700 and all the agencies say it, but not all of them like try for Connect 700, you know? I mean, just like all of the state agencies also have direct hire authority where a 30% or higher disabled veteran can be directly hired into the agency, but that is used extremely sparingly. So yeah, that's
Right.
really can't say much as far as how many veterans are using the Connect 700.
I wanted to put on the screen one last time the veterans resources. So we have a page, find your employer veteran employment rep. And I'll put the link in the chat once more too, but it's here at Find Your Veterans Employment Representative, and it's sorted by region. So all of the employers on this call today, anyone watching the video, you can scroll through this, find your county, find your area, and feel free to contact them. Shannon, do you want to say anything more about?
Yeah, about that part. When you're doing that, you might think, well, I'm looking for positions in 20 different counties, so I'm going to reach out to everybody on this list. What we would ask you to do is find one individual to be a primary point of contact, because we all work together super, super close. So when companies send me their open positions to share with my network, I also share it with my coworkers too, and then they share it with their network. So that's how we kind of operate together and have a lot of overlap. But just determine a base of operations for the company, whether that is the actual headquarters here in Minnesota or the location of the recruiter responsible for filling that position. But whatever county that would be, find the single vet rep for that spot.
Right. And then we do have some of your coworkers who are also working on special projects, right? You know, veterans reintegration, homeless veterans, Native American, Department of Corrections. Again, you're all connected, right? And can connect the employers to those programs as well. Good. Well, thank you very much, Shannon, for being here today.
Welcome. This is a pleasure to talk about veteran recruitment.
Yeah, and it's so needed. I just talked to another employer this morning who was interested in the Beyond the Yellow Ribbon program. So getting him connected to the reps, it's really valuable to all of our job seekers who are veterans. So thank you. To the audience, I want to just put a plug. Next week, we're going to be talking about reaching our new Minnesotans, our new Americans, our immigrants, our refugee residents of Minnesota. There's so many opportunities for connecting with them for your open positions. And so we will have one of our coworkers from Department of Employment and Economic Development to talk about some of those programs and how to better get connected with new Americans. So Thank you all for being on the webinar today, and we hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.